Hello everyone, T-Man978. Thank you TM Reviews for allowing me to review this. This is Deformation Space 01, Crimson Wings. He's a deformation aircraft. Look at this packaging. This box is nice. I like the material and whatnot they use for this, but look at that. That's horribly mistransformed, and even the little wing parts were back here. That doesn't even look like that in the slightest. So I don't know what's up with that. If you want to see what the box is really supposed to look like, I just saw on Ben's Collectibles that he reviewed this, and his box has the final picture and not this thing. I don't know what's up with this. This was probably what he should have gotten, since he said it was a pre-production sample. But anyway, this instruction manual, trash, and it has that same image. And look at the final picture. This is what they thought it was going to look like. It's even worse in there. That looks like a Combiner Wars aerial bot. Like, what is that? But anyway, let's get to the real toy. Here is Crimson Wings. Yeah, it had an S on it. Out of packaging. And if you want a masterpiece Starscream that looks like exactly what you remember from the cartoon, here you go. There you are. It could be a standalone toy, or you could put it with your other collectibles that fit into the masterpiece scale. But this is what Starscream looked like in the face. In fact, the face is lighter than the official Takara Tomy, but it looks like they took the images of what that figure was going to look like and perfectly replicated it somehow on the face. The body design and tooling and whatnot is completely different, but the face is exactly the same. It kind of looks like the mouth goes all the way across at first glance, but it just looks like the official. But the head looks like this. These vents squeeze in for transformation. Here's the back. Here is the neck. You can lift it up a little bit higher, so he can look at least that high while flying towards you. And the bottom is on a ball joint. It's kind of molded so that it can go forward more. So it can look down a bit. But you don't get a lot of side tilt. You get some, but not a lot. Anywho, the shoulders are able to move until you get to the wings, of course. It's on like a soft ratchet. Can go out on just friction, and you do get a dedicated butterfly joint. So the arm with the bicep swivel here, which is extremely tight. A ton of the joints on this thing are extremely tight. You can get the arm all the way across to here. Pretend he's talking into his wrist or whatever. This rotation is extremely tight, which takes away from the fun for me, because you got to keep grabbing this and moving that. But okay, double jointed elbows. You got to bend this one first if you want the full range, or else it's gonna bend like that and make you think that it's just 90 degrees of bend. The null ray cannons can do this and this, and of course rotate on that peg, which is tight in there due to it being fully painted. I believe this guy is completely 100% painted. Even this, it looks like plastic, but when you open it up, you can see that it's painted. The hands are pretty much like the Takara Tomy one, but the thumb is actually on a ball joint, so you can rotate that around as you see fit, and it still has the other two joints. And all these fingers are on two separate joints, so he can be super crazy expressive with his hands, and I like it. I love it. That's good. And if I didn't say this, that hinge does that. It doesn't really come in much, and it swivels. He has a waist swivel. You can bend about that much until you start bumping into sculpt. You can lift this up, and yeah, it still bumps. You can get an ab crunch right there, but it dislocates his body, which isn't the prettiest thing ever. So you can have that, and this also dislocates the cockpit. And I can imagine there are a ton of people out there who have OCD or just like things to be complete and whole, and that may be a problem. Oh yeah, the head can shift forward and back to your liking as well. The hips. These skirts can go out and the leg does that. That's pretty much just friction. It can go back on the ratchet that much. These, holy crap, completely scary tight, make you feel like you're gonna break it, but they come forward that much and you can do that. The hip can dislocate, so that's for posability's sake. You can get his legs inward for, let me get this down, for walking poses or whatever you see fit, really. I didn't talk about the wings. The wings can bend back on this hinge right here. So because the shoulders are a little bit forward as well, you don't have to worry about the null rays like bumping much like they did on other Masterpiece style Starscreams. You do get the thigh rotation, which is also mostly unhindered. It seems to stop here, but you don't need more than that. The knee joint bends that much, double jointed knee. The ankle can do this, plus this can rotate all the way out if you want the heel to come with it, and the heel can extend. The most unfortunate thing about his articulation is there is no ankle rocker at all. So even though it has that ab crunch and whatnot, when you're trying to get into dynamic poses, it's hard to get him. I mean, he can balance because the feet are angular, but it's completely just on that toe, which is not the most stable thing. So if it had an ankle rocker, this thing would be like super duper duper great. But as it stands, he does have above average articulation for a regular Transformer, and definitely even a Masterpiece with that hand articulation, double jointed elbows and double jointed knees, ab crunch, waist swivel, and that neck articulation. So it's great. Build quality wise, only thing that frustrates me, this panel right here, it doesn't like click into place. So while you're manipulating it, it will be constantly shifting out. That's annoying. This piece isn't glued in. You can glue that yourself. This kept popping off on me the whole time. I think they might have used too much paint, and that's why some of the joints are too tight. And oh yeah, promotional pictures always show the wings angled out, anime, make toys, Seeker style. You can do that if you want. In fact, they can do all types of this, which he never did in the cartoon. So there's that. Trying to think of anything else build quality wise that's frustrating. And that's all I can think of. If you want to have these shorter, you can do that if you want, but they were typically long at the tip. But yeah, he's good. Can't really complain about him too much in his robot mode. He only comes with the null rays, and you saw this face. Let me get the other last two accessories that he has, which are two other faces. You push the head back and grab at that and pull that off. And here's the first one grabbed. This is his like smile look right there, just a regular smile. And here is the smirk, wanna bet look, with one eye kind of shut and a smirk to the side. Now, personally, if it's only going to come with 3 faces, I think you need to have neutral, and you definitely need to have his smirky, cocky look. But they should have put like an angry yelling face or angry or yelling face, instead of giving you two versions of a smile. I don't get that. Maybe the other ones are gonna come with more than just a smirk and a smile, but I personally don't think you need both if those are the only two options you're gonna have outside of the neutral face. But other than that, this thing is good. I just wish it had the ankle rocker. And yeah, if you like fans toys, this is pretty much that. It looks good. The transformation is completely overcomplicated, and it has nothing else. No frills, no special effects, just only a couple of faces, just bare bones minimum. And for the price, that's what you should expect. If you see this thing for $200, I do not think that's worth it, because that's only a little bit less than the official masterpiece, but I hear that's the US price for this guy. Most people who got it early paid $140, and I think that's a good price. Keep hearing that this guy might be involved with Transform Element, and I can kind of see it looking at the design, but I can't really tell you that because everybody's using this design because they want it to look more cartoon accurate. Things similar is how they have, like, the angle is not really curved, but it's like flat angles, like on the legs and on the arms and whatnot. So yeah, I can kind of see that. But then I bring up Bad Cube's Recon, and he has like the same angles where it's not just straight flat edges. It's like, you get what I'm saying. It's the same type of sculpting. Here's this right here, since I brought them in here. Here's where his height might be a problem. And what the heck? I've been trying to get him standing straight up. I don't know what's going on. One of his ankle thrusters wasn't straight, but next to Shockwave, he is a little bit taller. I mean, you could do stuff like perspective and just have Shockwave just standing there, but I don't know. He still looks taller. Let me lower the camera. If the knees are bent and he's in a pose, it probably wouldn't be a problem, but let me bring out the other Decepticons. Oh yeah, you can see he's pretty much the same height as Soundwave, so maybe that's what they were going for. And Megatron is still taller, but he's not massively taller like the Sunbow chart would have him. Or like the official, right here. So there we go. Let's bring these two side by side. Now, some people may say that the official is more accurate, and you would be right if you're looking at the season 1 of the cartoon. Season 1, he was a little bit more round in the crotch and the chest than definitely this area. But in like the movie, they had more angular designs, and like even people like Optimus Prime got a redesigned face. But here, let's let you see them from the side. They look really, really similar, and at first glance, you probably wouldn't even be able to tell them apart. The main massive departure or difference is the back. The back is way more accurate on this one. Only thing that would be a problem, and I guess I should have brought this up when I was talking about aesthetics. Either this should have been sunken more in to meet up with the butt, or the butt should have been out to meet up with this, and that would have been perfect. The wings, I like the way the wings look except for these hinges and whatnot. And this is completely not cartoon accurate at all. They tried to throw in some red hints right there to mimic that, but there's no way you can look at this and say that that's cartoon accurate. But it's still flush and solid. Well, I think this looks better. That's way more accurate. I would have rather it look like this on that one. But any old who, the transformation is long, boring, and I don't trust y'all to watch it, so it's not going to be in this video. I'm going to have a link to the transformation, the T-Man's How to Transform Deformation Space, Crimson Wing, or just Crimson Wings, in the description and linked at the end of this video. Alright, here he is in his jet mode. It's what it is. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to complain about it. Well, nitpick about in robot mode is this is so translucent. You can see that seat sitting there at all times in the middle of his chest, which is a little bit off-putting for me, but not too major. I like that they were able to put the stripes back there on that blue wing, and all this comes together nicely. They didn't go the G1 toy accurate route, and I think it did have the designs in the cartoon where you're seeing black right here to mimic the G1 joint and black back here to mimic that joint back there. This doesn't have that. Here's what it looks like on the side. When you don't have the missiles there, this kind of looks a little bit messy, but it looks like this under here, which it should look like a Starscream folded up under there. You have these thrusters. Yeah, you can manipulate these and whatnot, but they do get stuck if you don't pull them up at the same time. Like I said, for whatever reason, this door is loose and will not stay shut. I saw that on Ben's Collectibles copy, and you probably saw this on TM reviews. Getting the cockpit open is difficult. You have to kind of like pinch and pull up, and this doesn't lift up with it, so you got to like do it at an angle, and you can see the seat and whatnot. Let's see if this little Diaclone pilot will fit in there. He fits there. Well, let's see if I can actually shut this with him in it. He's bent forward. Let me try that again. Let me lean him as far back as I can get it. Yeah, no, he can't seem to sit in there comfortably. Maybe if you had a Dr. Arkaville, which I miss. Actually, I don't have anymore. I had one of the hologram pilots from the Masterpiece series, but yeah, get the leg out. But basically, the jet is what it is. These stay up more sturdy. They do not lock into place, so if you bump it, they will move. But they stay up way more sturdy than Make Toys. You can pull these missiles off the Mimic. I guess he shot that away. I guess. And you can also turn these back into null ray lasers if you want. Why this opens is so you can get at the landing gear. But this should shut. So I don't know, maybe, you know, does this just pop off? Yeah, I could probably put some floor polish on that and tighten that up. But back here, we can lift this up and bring these wheels out. And they aren't fake wheels. They actually do roll dependent on your surface. It doesn't roll as good as the official Masterpiece, but it still rolls. But that's it. No blast effects, no stand for you to hold him up. I don't even see a really good stand place. I guess you could wedge something up under there if you want. But that's about that. No other things. You can technically move this, but it's not designed to look like they should be moving. Like I said, you can't move that. I don't think these are supposed to move. But I guess you still have access to this. I think that's something that maybe the real jet does, since they made sure to tell you that was a feature on the old Masterpiece. But no radar dish. Yeah, it just is what it is. Here it is next to MP52. I believe him to be a little bit. Yeah, it's a hair taller when I stand it straight up. Yeah, so you can see it's a little bit longer right there. But here are these details. Like I said, fake G1 toy accurate, which I believe was also in the cartoon. Of course, on the official, you're gonna have Decepticon logos. In this case, more cartoon accurate ones. It has a darker cockpit. You can still see that, but his seat goes away in the robot mode anyway. And they didn't paint these wings on the official one. And of course, the gray is darker on the official. And you have all the other features, blast effects to stand, and all the stuff that this one comes with that this one doesn't come with. But yeah, end of the day though, this is a cool jet. About the only thing aesthetically that doesn't please my eye is these red hinges right there. I wish those weren't visible. That takes away from it, but it looks like it should look. It has more detail than you ever saw in a cartoon to mimic a real jet. And yeah, not too much of a problem with it. And you already heard everything that I had to say about it in robot mode, so I'm not going to go back over that. It has die-cast. I didn't mention some in the feet, some in the back. Like some back here, I felt it before I flipped this around. So it is decently heavy. The materials feel good. Only things that are issues is some of the joints not wanting to move or bend, and the transformation is a mess. Like I said, link in the description for that, or stay tuned during my song. Anywho, thank you again, Sony, for letting me borrow this. It's a good figure if you want it. Just know what it comes with and what you're getting. Everything I said in this video. Thank you for watching. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here.
Figure action. That one's me.
Join the Syndicate Toy Hunters Facebook group. Link in the description.
Click the videos. Click the videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those videos, baby. Click the videos. You really should click those videos. Click that shit.